Stillwater Prison has been operating in the same building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 100 years. Warden Michelle Smith worked at the women's prison in Shakopee before coming to Stillwater, now managing over 1,600 male inmates.
But I find them to be respectful, and working with men can sometimes be sometimes easier than working with women.
Although most crimes committed by inmates at Stillwater are violent, it's a level 4 closed security prison, Oak Park Heights being the only maximum security facility in Minnesota. Smith says because most offenders will get out, it's important they're offered educational opportunities and treatment programs on the inside.
Most of our offenders are going to be released at some point, and they're here for a certain period of time or stay. So they need to have the ability to make better choices, and we're hoping that the things that we do for them here are giving them options for those better choices.
Education is paid for by MinCorps or donated through grants. Inmates can earn an associate's or bachelor's degree, and the more inmates take advantage of programs, the more privileges they receive.
Those open and close the windows. Yep, in the summer we come by with a big crank.
Unlike more modern utilitarian facilities, Stillwater has a Victorian charm. Each cell block is 3 floors high.
They outnumber us.
And houses 284 inmates. Staff conduct routine lockdowns to check for contraband, and even though security is tight, it does find its way in.
Things that are maybe thrown over the wall, sometimes things are smuggled in. Sometimes things come in through the mail. Sometimes they make things.
Inmates are allowed visitors 4 days a week, but cannot touch during the visit to prevent passing of contraband.
They're allowed to embrace and kiss on the cheek.
Although staff says there isn't a great deal of violence, there are still issues with gangs, otherwise known as security threat groups. About 45% of inmates in Stillwater are black and 43% are white, with the average age being 36.
The longer you're here, the more comfortable they are with you.
Yeah.
And then you are somewhat with them.
On a typical weekday shift, 65 officers are assigned in the main building. They also employ a canine guard used to perform cell searches and inmate transports. With over 1,600 inmates, it's important to keep them active. Inmates have access to a gym they pay for through wage deductions and amenities, so no tax dollars are used. And Minnesota is a mandatory to work state. In Stillwater Prison, there are more inmates than jobs available.
We don't want obesity, and
the prison serves inmates 1,800 calories a day, and they've been progressing toward healthier meals in order to avoid health care costs resulting from obesity and heart disease.
We have to make those transitions very gradually because food is very important to the offenders.
Staff describes the prison as its own little city, complete with a health clinic and chapel. And although sentences range dramatically based upon the crime, the average length being 105 months, the hope is the opportunities provided behind these walls will prepare offenders to reintegrate into society. In Stillwater, this is producer Mary Klein with photographer Nick Anderson.